Some cities are already experiencing EV charging station shortages. These are 3 EV charging stocks you may want to buy now. EVgo. While its chart is nothing to write home about, EVgo earnings sure are. Being global, the company just reported quarterly revenue growth of 379% to $17.8 million. ChargePoint. Its charging network doubled over the last few years. Let's dive in. Here are the 3 most undervalued EV charging stocks to buy now, August 2023. Welcome to Timely Investment Research. With electric vehicle demand only set to accelerate, the U.S. needs far more EV charging stations. Great news for EV charging stocks. For one, the Biden administration wants half of all new vehicle sales to be electric by 2030. 2. EV sales are expected to grow 35% year over year to 14 million, according to the International Energy Agency. However, for that to happen and to address EV adoption barriers, such as range anxiety with chargers, the U.S. must step it up. Granted, the Biden administration has ambitious plans of building a national network of 500,000 EV chargers across America, but they're needed now, especially with some cities experiencing shortages. According to Automoblog, the number of EVs is far greater than the charging network in some cities. Combined with a dramatic increase in sales between 2021 and 2022, climbing from 700,000 to 1.0 million EV sales on Statista, we may be heading towards a charger shortage for electric cars and some plug-in hybrids in the near future, they added. That said, now is a good time to buy undervalued EV charging stocks. Number 1. EVgo. While its chart is nothing to write home about, EVgo earnings sure are. In fact, in its second quarter, the company saw revenue growth of 457% year over year to $50.6 million. While it posted an earnings per share loss of 8 cents that still beat expectations by 10 cents. Even better, EVgo now expects to see revenue of between $120 million and $150 million for the full year 2023, up from $105 million to $150 million. It also now expects an adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization loss of between $68 million and $78 million, which is narrower than an earlier forecast range of $60 million to $78 million. Plus, we also have to remember EVgo is working with General Motors to expand charging access points. So far, the two have opened fast charging stalls at about 230 locations in 27 states. And it just received a $13.8 million award from the Ohio Department of Transportation for the build-out of 20 fast-charging stations. Number 2. Beam Global. Beam Global isn't your typical EV charging station company. Instead, its EV Arc, the first off-grid, rapid deployment EV charging system, draws power from its solar panels. In fact, its Solar Tree is the only 100% renewable off-grid fast-charging solution for medium and heavy-duty electric vehicles on the market, according to the company's site. And while its chart is just as ugly as EVgo, its earnings growth is solid. In its second quarter, it saw a year-over-year quarterly revenue growth of 379% to $17.8 million. It also saw first-half revenue growth of 312% year-over-year to $30.8 million. Even better, in second quarter, Beam Global saw 589% year-over-year growth in its EV RC system deployments. Operating expenses improved by 44% over that period as well. Plus, the company has no debt. Even more exciting, the City of Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks just placed a third order for the EV RC to fuel the city's growing fleet of EVs. Plus, according to the city, the state of California expects 12.5 million EVs on California's roads in 2035 and that 1.2 million public and shared chargers will be needed by 2030. To help achieve this goal, the California Energy Commission approved a $2.9 billion investment plan to accelerate California's EV charging goals. Number 3. ChargePoint Holdings. Or we can look at ChargePoint Holdings. Again, the chart isn't so hot. But its future is shaping up to be, especially with analysts at Wood Mackenzie noting U.S. charging ports could grow fourfold by 2027. According to the firm, we could see 18 million by then. They also note that ChargePoint is one of the dominating EV charging companies with a 46% market share. While the company is still not profitable, its charging network did more than double over the last few years. Plus, with further EV adoption rates expected to explode higher, ChargePoint Holdings could be one of the standout winners. Also, as noted on August 2nd, the company expects to cut its earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization loss by 2/3 in the last quarter of the year. Even with that positive news, the stock dipped on a lower than expected second quarter guide, which Gabelli analysts say was overblown. Plus, we have to consider ChargePoint Holdings has a strong foothold in the US and in Europe. Thanks for spending some time with us today, Timely Investment Research. We're so glad you did. If you found value in today's video, please give us a like, hit that bell icon to never miss an upload, and hey, don't forget to subscribe.